Notion Calendar is one of the best free Google Calendar clients out there, and many people love it because it deeply embeds with Notion. Well, today we're going to give you everything you need to know about Notion Calendar and how to get started with it so that you can just go in, dive in, and use it as your daily calendar app. So I think the best place to start with all these calendar apps is what devices is it available on and what calendars can I connect it up to. You can get Notion Calendar on web and on both desktop devices with Windows and Mac, as well as with iOS and Android. So Notion Calendar connects with Google Calendar, but sadly doesn't connect with iCloud or with Microsoft Outlook, although they do state these are on the roadmap. Ever wanted to automate things, but you lack the coding skills? You can now do that with Zapier with no code. Zapier is the leader in automation, allowing you to take your workflows to the next level with a suite of automation tools. You can go from an idea to reality in no time, setting up triggers for simple workflows and for even more advanced ones. That's why over 2.2 million companies use and trust Zapier. And thanks to Zapier for sponsoring this video. So how can I use Notion Calendar? Well, very simply, you can use it as your daily calendar and connect up all your Google Calendar, but you can also bring in databases that have date-based entries into them from Notion and naturally see them all in one location. You can also plan and organize meetings using a scheduling link and also dive into creating a video conference through there. So now comes the time to dive over to Notion Calendar and show you how it works. So here we are with Notion Calendar, and this is on the desktop version. It looks very similar on mobile, quite easy to use and practical. Now I think the best place to start is up here. This is an area where you can narrow down to a daily view or to a weekly view, and you can even go to numbers of the day and choose something very specific like 3 days ahead. Now some people do like the ability to go over to this and be able to use it as a part of the keyboard and naturally plan ahead. So you can also choose whether you'd like weekends to show, declined events, or also week numbers. That's something that you can add and will appear up here once you activate it. If I press Command K and press day, I can expand all day section, which opens things up a bit. If I select anything on the keyboard, I can press the backspace to get rid of it and delete it from my calendar, which is a helpful little time saver. So over on this side, you can see all the calendars that you're connected to. You can choose which ones you want on and which ones are visible, as well as what color they appear as on your calendar. So to create an event, it's really easy. Just drag over and you can create an event, but you can also create 3 other things: a birthday, an out of office, and a focus time, which is a great way to set an inspiration to focus on. Or you can choose some availability to share with others. So for example, I can dot across my calendar and I can create a link which essentially appears like it would like calendarly.com. Let me show you what that looks like. So it will appear something like this and connects my Google Meet thanks to the Google Calendar integration that allows me to instantly create a video conference. So that's a really helpful way to start adding, and once you're happy with that, you can press done, and you can also set up some things like, for example, the booking window, like with 30 minutes notice or 60 days maximum window. That's a great way to narrow down your options and to make sure that you're not necessarily booking out time and somebody's jumping on and recording something with you with 1 hour's prep. So as you can see, these little lines appear in the calendar, and these are holding spots, and these are great for setting those periods of time out so that the other person on the other end has the opportunity to book the meetings with you still, and the optionality. So now we've learned how to schedule something, let's talk a little bit about the Notion abilities that I talked about earlier. Now there are 2 Notion abilities in here. The first one I'd like to show you. If you've got a meeting, you can go over down here and go to Docs and Links, and you can see here that you can tag on a specific Notion document that you have. This is perfect for adding multiple of them that you may want to quickly connect to a meeting. This is great because when the meeting starts, it will indicate what document you need for the meeting and jump you straight into that doc, which is perfect. So when I'm ready to go to that meeting, I'll be prepared and organized for it. So in order to add any of the Notion databases to your account, you need to make sure you go to settings. Once you go to settings, go down to integrations and Notion and make sure you've connected the correct workspace to your account. So you'll be able to see any workspace you've connected and naturally see the integration in action. Now what's nice is any of those integrations will pop up and allow you to see anything that is planned inside of your account. In this case, an AI meeting is booked in. So if I change any of the details, it should reflect in Notion Calendar. So in this case, I've just made the meeting over the span of 4 days. As you can see, it's reflected in Notion Calendar. So this is helpful when you've got a lot of different stuff in Notion Calendar and you want to connect it with something you've already got in the Notion database, and can be an incredibly helpful way to see and reflect that information as to not worry about upcoming deadlines or upcoming things that are part of your team. If there's any other databases you'd like to add, you can go here and type in databases and show Notion database. You can then go and choose which database you would like to appear in your Notion calendar if it's not already connected with a calendar or a timeline view. So there are a few other abilities that might be helpful, like the ability to add time zone. So for example, you can choose and add additional time zones to your calendar. This can add more of them to the left-hand side of your screen, and it's a great way to work on other people's time zone and make sure that you're not clashing with their meetings. So if you've not yet seen, Notion have got one more trick up their sleeve with Notion Calendar. They're set in 2025 to release something called an AI note taker. These are popular tools for scheduling and organizing meetings, but have an AI assistant transcribe and turn those meetings into useful notes. This is a great way to save administration, and if you've not yet known about AI note takers, Notion Calendar should be planning to release one, but we've got loads of other resources over on Toolfinder to help you find other note takers that can help you to AI summarize your meetings. You can find those linked below. So hopefully that gave you a good idea about how Notion Calendar works. It is an application that's going to help you manage your calendar more effectively if you've got Google and you've got any of those devices that I mentioned at the start of this video. But largely, it's an experience that's going to get better and better and help you to manage your workspace and your life in Notion. So it